This is a reading for the new moon in April. How are you all doing out there? I hope you're well. It's been an interesting month for me. I've been really trying to enhance my sensitivity lately because I'm usually pretty grounded in the physical consensus world. And I do want to be a more sensitive person. When I get information, I really download it as mental knowledge. So I don't see things, I don't hear things, I just know things. And that's how it seems to work for me. Everybody's different, and some people are so sensitive that they would probably want to do the opposite and in order to be able to deal with like everyday reality if they have to. I don't know how you would do that. It's not easy to make changes to the current mode sometimes. I think I may have been a lot more sensitive as a child, and had to shut that down a little bit, so that happens to a lot of people. But I am good at getting information to download through my brain and then share it. That's like my own form of sensitivity. We have the Wheel of Fortune, the World, and the Fool. Well, that applies to me anyways. Sometimes you have to make a change where you don't know where you'll end up. If that's you as well, let's get some more information. Let's see here. The Wheel, the World, the Fool. So what is that? Yeah, maybe we don't want to settle for a pattern that isn't, it's not all the way what we want and is not capable of providing that. This card keeps coming up time and time again recently. Just keep working on things. We want to get into a really good emotional state. Wow. Because there's been things that have been not satisfying, right? And sometimes it's good to kind of start over. I wouldn't tell anyone else to, but personally I am. My starting over process has taken a bit of a detour recently for personal reasons, but that's what I'm doing. And it's okay. There's sort of a lot of information out there. It's almost like propaganda. Say you're in a relationship that you know in your heart that it's hard for you to imagine like growing old with that person. But a lot of people will say to stick with it, go to therapy and try to improve it. And there's definitely a time and place where that would be the right thing to do. But sometimes, even though it might hurt, it might even feel like the wrong decision when you're in the middle of it, it's good to actually just kind of rip the band-aid off if you're in a situation that you're not satisfied with, that you don't think can provide that in the long term. I think it's okay to start over. I think people don't know that and they stay in situations sometimes for too long. If something isn't working, focus on what is working. Work on yourself and your projects that you enjoy. I know I say that time and time again, but I really feel that's like the path to massive life improvement, is to have an interesting internal and external world where you can control it. I just want to pull one of these like super positive light oracle deck cards. They're just so positive. Take a break. Just say yes. Okay. Yeah, maybe somebody needs to hear that. If you have the ability to take a break and you're feeling strung out, kind of trapped in the rat race, that might be good. Or sometimes a break can be very small, like literally just walking to the river and looking for rocks. So don't feel like you have to be wealthy or, you know, if you don't have a river near where you are, try the library, look for a book. Looking for things is a really soothing pastime. I just feel like the human brain is wired to where that's very satisfying as an activity. So if you feel like you need to de-stress, anything where you're searching through a pile of things for something neat is pretty relaxing. Now, if you are a hoarder, maybe don't listen to me. I have too many things myself, so I probably need to simplify next. That's a little harder. Just say yes. So, as we were saying before, if something isn't really working out, you're allowed to not do it for the rest of your life, but it's good to head towards something. You do want a vision of your own future. Like, we don't want to be like the fool with absolutely no goal and no direction. So what can you say yes to? It's good to identify that. My dog is coming. Hey, buddy. The cats might come and meow at me now. What can you say yes to? There's a vision in your mind of what you want. And sometimes we can, if we get clear enough, and if we're at a high enough vibration, we can manifest essentially what we want. So it should all come back to that. Keeping yourself in a high, beautiful state of being. Which requires focus. It just requires focus. And the exact specifics of what you had in mind, your own personal yes, might not be what you end up with, but that's okay. That's good, actually, because if you're in that high state, then it's something better or something that matched what you're asking for anyway. So keep an open mind. Don't get too attached to any specific person, especially if that seems stuck, because it's not healthy to base, you don't want to base your plans on something that's not certain, so you need an internal locus of control. We really can't be depending on anything external. A couple more cards. So these things will come into official form. We do want to, it's a mental process. That really comes first. Stillness, neutral or positive thoughts, focus. We apply our focus in the world. The Fool again. So it's a very mental process. Come here, buddy. Dog is making noises. I love crows. They're like my animal. They come and visit me sometimes. But now they get mad at me if I don't feed them. So. That's a bit of a codependent dynamic. Yeah, so it all starts in the mind. Your thoughts really control your emotions, so keep your thoughts clear. If you have a lot of negative thoughts, watch the content you're consuming, watch the words that you are saying, watch your mind. Try to get cleared out in the morning and at night as well. I talk to my angels a lot, at night especially, and I thank them for everything that I have that's a blessing in my life. And I also thank them for things that I want. And I sometimes ask them for specific things, like in thanking form, such as I ask them for more specific solutions a lot, actually, like, and it does seem to work. Like, my cat was sick, and I thank them for helping our relationship and for helping her improve her physical body. And she's well now. I mean, it's always weird when it happens. It's like, oh, it's so beautiful. Let's just grab one more of these light cards just to kind of close things down. My dog broke into my room. One more card. This is the message I've been getting all season. I felt like winter this year was a time to just work on ourselves and be a hermit, and I just kept getting the Hermit card. And that's definitely where I was at. And now I'm getting so much full energy and beautiful energy, like wishes energy, go for it energy. We had to stay positive. We have to connect with our deepest desires and turn away from things that aren't working. It's okay. It's okay that things don't work sometimes. It's really okay. It's actually nobody's fault, you know? It's just an older version. It's like sloughing off. Let that whole layer of reality slough off. Make actions if you have to, if you want to. But I'm really all about clearing and letting go and moving on and clearing up the life path so we can have a beautiful life. Ah, this is nice. This says, "You are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you." And that's a good thing to remember. We really do have help in the spirit world. We have spirits that want things for us. We have spirits with overview. And it's good to acknowledge them sometimes. If you have any relatives that you know or know of, it's good to connect and check in. It can just be like a normal conversation. Light a candle, maybe. Focus. And remember that this time on Earth is actually very short in the big scheme of things, and that your soul was very excited to come here. This is actually a very special opportunity. Even if you have a very challenging life, it actually just means that your soul was very strong and had a big intention. And we do want to turn it around and head towards the light, because that's kind of what we're doing here, you know? Okay, well, what a beautiful reading. Thank you so much for tuning in, and have a really wonderful day. Bye.